It's opening night of Star Wars, and thousands of people, millions of people all across the nation are waiting in lines to see the movie tonight. Hi, I'm Pat Roy with Creation Quest, and we wanted to find out how people's worldviews related to the movie Star Wars. So, how long have you been here today?
Since 7 a.m.,
And what time is your movie?
11 p.m.
That's commitment.
Well, I guess it's about 5.5 hours until the 7:45 show.
I got here at 8 because everyone else has lives and work and stuff. So,
Okay, it looks like you're camping out here. Is that true?
Yeah, I've been here since like 11:30. Yeah.
Okay, by the time you see the movie, how many hours will you have been out here?
I think around 13 hours.
So we decided if we come, we'd rather be safe than sorry. So we decided to come pretty early.
Awesome. Now you're dressed up. Tell me about this.
Well, I'm dressed up as Padme from Episode 2, The Clone Wars, or Attack of the Clones. Sorry.
So tell me, what are you most excited about for this movie?
Honestly, I'm just excited to see where it goes from here. You know, a lot of people say the prequels weren't very good. I actually kind of enjoyed them for being a youth when they came out, and I'm excited to see if they're able to evolve or just bring back that magic that were in the originals when my dad and my mom showed it to me when I was a kid. So,
Seeing what the characters are doing 40 years later.
What do you hope happens in this movie? What are you looking forward to the most?
We need to know where Luke Skywalker falls in the story. No one knows.
I'm just hoping that it brings back the cool stuff from the originals while bringing in something new that we can all appreciate in our generation. That's what I'm hoping for.
You know, it's nostalgia, and I think that's why we're all here.
I grew up on Star Wars, so being able to come to a theater and see it, like it's new again is really exciting, and it's just something that's been with me for my entire life. So, yeah.
I grew up with it, and my boyfriend is a huge fan, so we decided to just kind of just spend the day together and enjoy.
I think it has a lot to do with the American culture. So this is like a big thing in our society because it's just something that a lot of people like. And like me personally, I grew up with it. So it's kind of an adult version of what I grew up with.
So they present a concept of the Force, right? The light side and the dark side. Do you think that that's a realistic type of thing that exists in the universe? Is the Force real, do you believe?
Well, I kind of believe in the alignments that they have set up because the people on the light side tend to be more kind of like monks where they kind of deny themselves, like falling in love or getting married or a normal life kind of like that, whereas the dark side tends not to believe in that kind of thing. So it's kind of like a dichotomy that I think exists in real life. So.
well, I think it draws similarities between the good and evil, the constant struggle between what is right and what is wrong, and that's moral interpretation. And so yeah, it really does the good and the bad. It's just kind of another word for it, but it's kind of like karmic balance, I guess. And I'm not a philosophy major. I don't know anything about philosophy, but I figure it follows a pretty standard theme that's been seen through literature through hundreds of years, and it's just brought into a way where everyone can understand it.
I don't know if it's the Force. I mean, I think it's some sort of like believing in yourself and have enthusiasm to get the things that you want to do done.
Do you think they're a balanced force, or is one stronger than the other?
I think it's kind of reflects reality where sometimes the light side will be more dominant and sometimes the dark side will be more dominant.
Now, from a biblical perspective, because that's kind of the founding of our country, it talks about a creator, and the Force a lot of times is asking us to use our feelings and all of that, whereas it seems like kind of what the scriptures say is that instead we're supposed to put our faith in something that's dependable, true, not necessarily our feelings. I don't know. Do you see a contrast between those at all? Is that?
I don't think I see a contrast. I think I see putting faith in something abstract and then within yourself is, I think, what Star Wars is trying to do.
In our nation, it's a Christian nation that a lot of them believed in the creator that is talked about in the Bible. Do you think that fits at all with the ideas of Star Wars, or how does that tie in?
I think the general idea of the light side, the ideals of the light side kind of fit in with Christianity. They're kind of like they want to help out. They want to help people. Jedis want to help people as much as they can, and they use violence, but it's only when they need to protect somebody or something. So I think that kind of falls in line with Christian values.
I guess there's a evil side and a good side to life.
So how it's like how the religion within Star Wars has influenced us. I'd say in Star Wars they put a lot of things in faith and like trusting the Force and whatnot. And a lot of other religions typically do that too. So I think Star Wars, though it's not reaching out necessarily to people that are religious, it allows people that maybe aren't to kind of see an example of what religion could look like to someone else.
Star Wars presents that there's life throughout the universe. Do you believe that that's true in reality?
I would like to believe that is true in reality. It's a really big universe, and I would like to believe that there's something else out there, but I'm not sure.
Well, I always think that it's a little, I don't know, we're kind of full of ourselves to assume that we're the only planet that's inhabited in the entire giant universe. I mean, I don't know, that's just always how I felt about it personally. I mean, we've got a book, and many books that talk about us being the only planet, but what if other planets have their own book that says they're the only planet? I don't know. If we were really the only intelligent life in this huge giant universe, I'd be kind of disappointed in God. I'm like, come on, man. Just us? Really?
Another one?
One more?
Okay, and if it was out there, where do you think it came from? How did it get there?
I personally like to believe in creation along with science. So like, if God created the universe, then he set in motion the thing that made the Big Bang happen. So that's kind of where I believe. Yeah.
So now if there was life out there, do you think that it was created, or do you think it evolved, or how did it get there?
That I don't know. I believe in science more than faith and religion.
Well, I'm religious, so I'd probably go the God route, but people that aren't, I don't know.
Okay, and would you say that you believe more in creation or more in evolution?
I think to the degree both. I think both coincide. I believe in that religion and science are intertwined as one thing. I think that one proves the other, without the other one can't exist. And it's kind of like when people say there's this battle between the two, I don't know if that's necessarily true, because we're all created, and science is just trying to figure out the answers to how, kinetically, like energy wise, but not spiritually. They're two different answers to different questions. So I think they're all together.
Okay, that's cool, because I would agree with you that if there is a creator who created both the world and the scriptures, they should be in harmony, right? I mean, it seems like they should be together.
Yeah.
I think that there has to be some sort of intelligence at looking at what happens in the world, and so I mean, I'm all for what people believe and respect what they believe, as long as it doesn't go against what's obvious and scientifically proven.
What have been the influences of these movies throughout all these years?
Well, I'm an English teacher, so I always look at things in a education sense, and over this past semester we actually taught Star Wars as the hero's journey, and so talking about developing as a hero and what it takes and how Star Wars basically embodies that image of that journey. And so I think students really relate to that because it's something that they can break down and take into their own life. So added on to the fact that there's really cool battles and like interesting characters and a world that we can get lost in, I think the essence of the hero's journey really shines in these movies, and I think that's what people are drawn to.
Well, as you can see, the Star Wars series really has influenced people's worldviews. And speaking of worldviews, we believe it's so important to have a correct biblical worldview, and that's why we've created the Creation Worldview classes. Please come check them out at www.creationworldviewclasses.com.